I don't remember anything about the World Cup, so if you're wanting some nuggets, there's none there today.
I think we all had a real sense of belief that we were going to win it.
In France, they tried to make me do one like this in French. I was like, no chance. Everyone was feeling good, feeling confident, fit. I felt like we were in a perfect place to do what we wanted to do.
France, we're coming for you.
As a group, we've grown up, a lot of us together, played in World Cups, European Championships. This is a team that's finished semi-final in the last 2 tournaments previous to this World Cup.
Don't mention the third, fourth place game, please. We'd worked so hard on changing the mentality of thinking about winning, not just competing, not just finishing fourth, third, second. It's about actually standing on that podium with a trophy in your hand.
Greetings, that's all I know. It was all about maintaining focus and understanding that as a team we're going to go through ups and downs, but it's all about peaking at the right moment.
We went to France in a really good kind of mental space, a really good place individually and collectively, and we really believed that, you know, we would go and win it.
Which one, this one?
Paris for England against Lionesses Summer of Scotland for the opening goal. It's absolutely crucial.
It was probably the draw that we didn't want, I've got to say. It was the game in the whole of the World Cup that I probably didn't enjoy the most either.
You know, you always have that kind of one big matchup, but for us we had Scotland first, which is a big matchup, regardless of the players on the field and, you know, the money or resources or who's playing in both teams. It's Scotland, England.
When we drawed Scotland, it was kind of like the Euros, you know, 2017 we got them in the first game, and then the World Cup we got them in the first game. It was an amazing feeling, obviously, for the team. Home nations derby, they called it.
The first game of any major tournament's tough, but when you're playing your probably nearest rivals and the pressure seemed to be on us, we had to keep the environment really composed and really calm. And 2 days before the game, I'd done something that I'd never done as a manager. I'd give the players the day off because I wanted us to be really calm, and I wanted the players to feel as if I had total trust in them.
Taken with unerring accuracy, England lead.
It was a great way for me to start the World Cup, you know, scoring a penalty, but also having a great game, you know. I wasn't too bothered about scoring goals in the World Cup. My main focus was the performances, and I knew once I got the performance right, everyone else would come with it.
It was great to get off the mark early doors and score against Scotland, and obviously Nikita set us up really well as well in that first game to get that first goal for us, and that kind of settled us down a little bit as well.
Through here to White, and she's bent in number 2 for England.
It's a dream to score for your country, and in a World Cup as well, you get this sense of confidence and belief, and yeah, that kind of continued throughout the World Cup.
Big chance for Scotland, and she's put it away, and they're back in the game.
They came back into the game, and the ending was the thrilling one because, you know, we was 2-1 up, but they were still always in the game.
Compliment to girls, to the media, it's positive that we got 3 points and we're all concentrating on Argentina now, yeah?
I wasn't happy with the players after the game. We seemed to, probably I think the only time in the tournament where I think a bit of nerves came in, and we started not to do the things that we'd planned, sticking to the game plan.
Team on 3, 1, 2, 3, team!
We knew if we won the first game, with Argentina coming up, we could be in the last 16 after the second game.
Oh, so there's got to be a penalty. Has to be. Penalty England.
We basically knew nothing about this team. The footage was quite limited, but they were a lot better than I think most people expected.
Key to Paris for England. Oh, it's off the post, and the rebound is wide from Jodie Taylor.
When I look back, I probably should have just kept to the way I went, and, you know, because I've been practicing for such a long time, I should have really been confident in my own ability from the penalty spot, but I tried to be tricky and it didn't work out.
Brilliant save to This is promising for England. Meets to the cross, the far post, Taylor! There's the breakthrough!
It was, for me, the most emotional game. It was Fran's mum's birthday who'd passed away. It was Carly's first ever game in a major tournament, and her mum had passed away 12 months before. So the emotion within the squad was as emotional as I've ever seen a squad be. No coaching course can prepare you for those types of moments. And we had a huddle after the game, and I've got to say it was probably one of my most favourite moments as an England manager with these set of girls, where we paid respects to those two players who had had an horrific time losing their mother. And it was the moment where I thought we were really together.
I think that's something that we were focused on, was to get the 3 wins.
Here's a chance for Ellen White, and slips the ball into the net. And there's the trademark celebration again from the England striker.
There was a little bit of noise saying, oh, but maybe not from the players, but from outside, maybe saying, you know, the other side of the draw is the easier side. We felt confident that winning was the way that we were going to win the World Cup, was winning every single game, and that bred confidence within the squad.
Right through and goal! Ellen White! Has ensured England have won the group!
Throughout a major tournament, you want to gain momentum each and every game. So for us, it was never about dropping points against any team. It was all about the road to gold and making sure each and every game we progressed.
The Lionesses history makers, it seems. For the first time, 3 wins in 3 in a group stage in a World Cup.
What was the objective? Play 3 wins, top the group. Going to the left-hand side of the draw.
Cameroon! We will beat England. Oh, but England will beat them today.
It wasn't until the day before the game that I was in my room. I thought, you know what, tomorrow, we could be home tomorrow.
The referee has got to get control of this. Cameroon players coming out to pressurise the assistant referee. Unseemly. This isn't on.
We watched Cameroon versus New Zealand in the group stages, and not a single one of our players wanted to play Cameroon.
Crazy, crazy game.
We played the way that we wanted to play. We knew what we was coming up against a little bit in terms of football, but we didn't expect these kind of things to happen.
When you're in the moment, it's just so hard to get rhythm, it's so hard to concentrate because there's just so much going on.
Oh, is that a back pass? It is. Horton, 1-0. Flag stays down, Ellen White!
Steph had charged up to the referee, and I thought she'd lost her head a little bit.
What's going on? Like, we want to just play, like there's 2 minutes left to play, let us play.
And I'd misread the situation, so at half-time I walked in.
Having a go at us for going up to referee and thinking that I was emotional, but actually I was quite logical in the way that I was saying it, because I wanted to relay to the team that we had 2 minutes left and we need to just get in half-time.
And it was Lucy and Steph said, boss, we're in control here. And straight away there was a calmness. I thought, yeah, they've got it.
Swept brilliantly in, and England have a third.
We had a lot of meetings and we've spoken a lot before the tournament and within the tournament about kind of staying together as a team, you know, staying united, not getting involved in the referee, not getting involved in VAR. But this was a little bit accelerated, a little bit crazy.
And here's Horton again. Oh, she's been fouled by Takunda, and as she landed, she inadvertently banged into the Cameroon coach. She's in real pain here, and she doesn't go down easily.
I just thought it was unnecessary for one, and obviously naturally you're thinking, okay, that we've got a quarter-final now, like how am I going to get myself back?
I thought she was out. I saw the ankle, it was just below the ankle. I thought that looks like ligaments to me.
Their manager got involved, our players got involved, I got involved, which it just showed what an unbelievable game it was, because naturally we wouldn't be like that, but ultimately the girl tried to potentially harm my chances of playing a quarter-final of a World Cup. And at that moment it was like, right, get off the pitch, get treatment and make sure I was right for the quarter-final in a few days' time.
England are through to the quarter-finals of the 2019 Women's World Cup.
On reflection, it was like the craziest game of football I've ever been involved in.
We got on with the job and we were professional as possible, and we got the win. We got through to the next round, and that was, for us, that was the most important thing.
I thought we produced one of our best performances. Not best performance in terms of football, but in terms of the concentration and togetherness and under circumstances that I've never experienced in my life in football.
It was tough to stay in that mode and not get too involved, but I think that really did push us onto the next level and make our performance even better for the next game.
She would run a million miles in every single game, every single training session. And I used to always say to her, stop running, just run between the width of the 18-yard box and you'll get your goals. And she used to look at me as if she hated me.
And I was like, no, I want to run, I like to contribute and run around. Like, I'm quite enthusiastic. I want to be part of the team. I want to be involved quite a bit.
Ellen, please stop looking at me like that. Trust me, you'll get the goals if you stay within the 18-yard box.
I don't want to say he was right, but you know, I worked really hard about being, basically my role is to be in front of the goal to score goals, and it was quite challenging to kind of change my game a little bit and adapt it, but I felt like I was doing it a lot, you know, with club and also in a lot of England games moving into the World Cup, and it started to kind of work.
She came into the World Cup fresh, and everything that she touched turned to goals.
And I kind of realised, oh God, he probably was right.
To make that unbelievable rise to where she was the best centre forward in the tournament, I think it's credit to her professionalism, a dedication and a desire to do well.
In terms of, yeah, the chat about the Golden Boot, yeah, it was hard to kind of get away from it, but I just kind of just kept saying, like, you know, I just want to perform for the team. But yeah, to say that you've scored 6 goals in a World Cup is an amazing achievement. It's something that I'll really look back on when I retire and just be like, wow, that's a great achievement.
Hi, how are you? Good. This way.
They went out that game and produced, I thought, a performance of real bravery. When you talk about an 18-month plan of getting to the moment to produce, I thought, I sat back and I relaxed and I watched the game. I thought we're in total control.
Everything just came together from the moment Jill scored.
And it's snuffed in by Jill Scott, and England has the perfect start.
To come out the blocks as quick as we did, I think it really settled our nerves, and I think that game, it showed our best football, but it also showed like a different side of us. We can play under the pressure.
Goes for White! It's 2-0!
Everyone stuck to the game plan. We really came into our own.
Lucy Bronze has gone up to the edge of the penalty area again. She's looming up dangerously.
I had training that morning to practice these set pieces, and it wasn't meant to be me hitting it, it was meant to be Kira Walsh, and she's in front of me. Then in the game, she's looked back and she's like, Lucy, she's ran it in the box. I'm like, if you want me to do it, I'll do it.
They've had their warning, they've had their warning. Here's Lucy Bronze! What a goal! What a goal!
I'm not a striker, I'm not an attacking midfielder, I'm not this player that scores these goals, but if I'm called upon to do it, I try my best. I don't really score a lot of goals, but I always seem to score these kind of good goals, I guess, and now I've got 3 World Cup goals and I'm a defender, so that's something that I'll remember in my career.
That was definitely our best performance throughout the World Cup, I think. I think everything just clicked.
We're going to a World Cup semi-final, like, but in your head in the game, you do think of that. Like, when you go feeling up, it's like, we've done it.
I thought we were going to win the World Cup off that game. I thought, they're getting better, they're getting stronger, we look fresh.
USA-France, I remember sitting and watching that. I think a lot of us watched that together. Both teams were obviously two kind of giants in the tournament, and it was exciting to see, you know, what we could see from that game and what we were going to come up against.
My biggest concern probably for the whole 18 months since I got the job was the semi-final. Semi-finals are all about moments. The best team sometimes doesn't always go through. It's about critical moments in games where you've got to take control of the game, take control of a moment.
I think we knew that they were probably the best team left to face, and they were the team to beat. But I don't think we were fearful of them. We prepared for them. So going into that game, we were full of confidence.
I think we genuinely believed we were going to beat them. We all felt we were in a really great position. Even prior to the tournament, we believed that we were going into the tournament and we could beat anyone on our day.
Then it was about just keeping us calm, about getting to a semi-final and forgetting that we'd lost the previous two. There was a psychological barrier, I felt, with the team.
We knew we had a great chance of beating this team. We knew technically that we were probably one of the best teams in the world, and physically we had to match them, and they changed their team a bit. Obviously Rapinoe didn't play.
You know, I was expecting to play this game against Megan Rapinoe, the best player in the world, and she didn't even step foot on the pitch. I remember all the girls were like, "You're not even playing Rapinoe against us." It was a very strange one, but people were saying, "Oh, we're England scared." I'm like, well, they actually changed their team for us, so I think it shows that both teams had a lot of respect for each other.
They was always strong in the first 15 minutes of the game. I think in every game they scored within the first 15. So we always knew that. Even against us, they scored in the first 15.
O'Hara, very experienced at the ball line, dangerous cross in. There's a free header! There's the opening goal of the World Cup semi-final.
For me, I think the first 20 minutes for us as a team, it wasn't good enough. We didn't get control of the game. We didn't play the way that we set out to play. And when you play against the best in the world in America, you can't allow them top teams to have their moments.
Mead switches her feet. Ellen White! It's 1-1. She's done it again. The first England player ever to score in 5 World Cup matches in a row. Lovely run, beautiful goal. The USA lead again. Special goal from a special goal scorer, Alex Morgan. Ellen White, here's a chance for England. Ellen White, try! Yes! Yes! 2-2. It's going to VAR. I thought she might just have crept offside. I hope I'm wrong. And the referee says TV screen. Offside. I think it was half a boot.
Obviously the VAR decisions are the ones that most people talk to me about, and you know, it is what it is, you know what I mean. If you're offside, you're offside, that type of thing.
12 minutes to go. It's become untidy. Kirby, lovely ball here. Stokes across the goal. Is it this time? Oh, was she fouled? Did she go down? What happened there? It's a huge missed opportunity.
It's got to be a foul.
Ellen White clearly believes she was fouled. This is a massive moment.
The decision took so long to be made. It felt like 10 minutes. It probably was only 2 minutes, but it felt like a long time.
The decision. Penalties! They've missed the last 2.
Who's going to take this?
Steph Port and the captain will step forward.
It was always going to be Steph from the moment I missed the second penalty against Norway. I understood, you know, the decision was made that, you know, you can't go to a major tournament and miss 2 penalties. It's the critical part, it's the elite level, and the small margins matter. And I understood that. Take my feelings, my ego, my emotions away from it, because ultimately it's not an individual game, it's a team game, and I wanted to win so bad.
It was actually the day of the USA game. We'd had team meeting, which we always do. We'd always have pre-match, then we had team meeting, then get on the bus, and That's when I got asked if I wanted to take it. I'm not afraid to shy away from big moments.
No! Another penalty miss, and surely the USA are off the hook. And England have had a goal disallowed for offside, and they've squandered a penalty.
I know that I should have done better with the penalty, and I look back and I'm still so disappointed because of the standards that are set.
Obviously, if we'd scored, I might be saying something different, but either way, it changed the momentum of the game, and it kind of made it hard to get going again, knowing that USA were shutting up shop and they were like, this game's over now.
Certainly in that moment is when I needed someone, and of course some players choose to maybe speak to you the next day, which is totally fine, and the likes of Ellen, Jill, obviously they're my closest mates in this team, and they know what to say, and even if it's just a hug.
They started to go down and needed drinks breaks, and it just cut our momentum totally. It's clever, you know, it's the way to win a game. Sometimes if you can't out-battle or tactically out-battle a team, then you've got to use a different strategy, and they had it. They had a great strategy to win games. The final moments of the game, I was so frustrated. I was thinking, you know, to beat us, you had to do that, them tactics, but ultimately, you know, to win a game in a World Cup.
Doing the nasty things, I think that's what USA almost like went above and beyond in that game, and we just couldn't counteract that, and we just couldn't push over that mark to score that extra goal, and we just couldn't kind of, just get over the mark really. I think they done all the nasty things really well, which essentially wins you games and wins you World Cups, and that's just the difference between winning and losing, and that's probably the most frustrating thing.
I mean, we missed out by this much of Ellen White's toe and this much from a penalty kick as well. So it was a frustrating game, but I think we know that we matched them. It was just these tiny little bits of details, which unfortunately that's what wins the World Cups.
England are out.
Why do we always come so close?
Inspire the next generation. That's what we wanted to do. So no tears.
I'm gonna cry.
Whatever happened, we fell short. We fell short because the Americans were better than us on the day. You feel it on the touchline, but I've got to say that the gap is closing. And I did feel at the time, and speaking to obviously the American people afterwards, they knew that was their final. We knew that was our final, and we fell short. It's the game that nobody wants to play in, because you get so close that you want to be in the final the day after. We'd planned to be at the World Cup for 52 days, and we were there on the 51st day going home.
These phone calls make a curious game.
I don't think as a team we was able to recover, and I know many people will say, well, it was a medal winning match, but ultimately we went there to win gold. You know, you just believed. Ultimately, your whole energy, everything around the camp, we believed that we was going to win.
And surely the World Cup is heading back to the United States of America.
The 2 training sessions before the Sweden game, it was like trying to get blood out of a stone, like get your body to really like, you know, come on, like mindset-wise, you've got another game. You still can win a medal, and this is what you're telling yourself, but actually in your body, do you actually believe it?
Me personally, I thought we lost that game because of me, because we put everything into finishing first. I wanted us to win the World Cup, and looking back now, that game is still something that I try and raise from my memory.
They won the game 2-1. To be honest with you, that epitomised our tournament, you know. At times we were high flying and then everyone just got so taken away from you in that semi-final game, and you know, it's a lesson learned for sure.
Family and friends are telling me how crazy it got, what a kind of big imprint we made on the nation and even on the world stage as well.
I didn't really understand how big participating in the World Cup really is until actually you look back and you think, wow, what a moment. There's nothing like it.
I was just so proud of us that we showed what we were like as a team on the world stage.
Ultimately, it's about growing the women's game both in England and across the world.
It's exciting for me to see how far it's come and how far it will grow as well.
We felt incredibly proud that so many people were joining us on this amazing journey that we were on and supporting us, wanting to watch it.
From the crowds to the places that you're at, the hotels, the people that you meet, hotel guests were coming up to us, can have pictures.
Think about the players that have come before us, you know, not had the opportunity to be professional footballers, not had the opportunity to play at facilities that we've got now. I wouldn't change the era that I've played in because I've seen both sides to it. I've played with the girls that have done it for nothing and then seeing it go professional. There's still a lot further to go, but I'm proud of, you know, the part that we've played.
It was actually amazing. Like, it was definitely an experience I'll never forget.
The World Cup is everything. It's what you spend your whole life working towards.
Want it? Oh, what a did you want it? Shot, goal! Oh my, tears me apart. In my heart, in this cold heart, I can live or I can die. I believe. It's another one. Cameroon into the knockout stages.
They've totally lost their composure here now. England are through to the quarterfinals.
What a goal! 3-0 up in this World Cup quarterfinal.
We're having the time of our life.
After the hosts beaten by the holders.
And it's in! Incredible scenes.
Beautiful goal, the USA lead. No! England are out. And that could be the goal. And take the